welcome to the daily newscast within the United Countries special by the First Ukraine. You can find us at the frequencies available to our website, firstua.com. Victoria Zabiyan is working for you in the studio. Thank you for joining us. Ceasefire in ATO zone is continued. Spokesperson of National Security and Defense Council Information Center Andrei Lysenko said about this. According to his words, attacks from the side of terrorists were reduced. During the last 24 hours, positions of Ukrainian soldiers were fired 16 times. And National Security and Defense Council named it as provocations. There is no dead and wounded people.
We continue to support the ceasefire and hope that the quantity of shooting will be sharply reduced. This is the opportunity and first step to initiate negotiations between the sides, to stop the fire at all on occupied territories of Donbass.
Cossack leader from Pervomaisk threatens to turn the weapons on Lugansk. Terrorist Yevhen Ishchenko accused leader of Lugansk People Republic Igor Plotnitsky that because of him, residents of the city are starving because they do not get pensions and humanitarian aid.
I was surrounded by women in the Pervomaisk area and forced me to call the head of the republic. Where is promised pension? Where is promised salary? Where is humanitarian assistance? And they now being on the road to Minsk. They are going to conclude a peace treaty. They were going to sign an armistice, not knowing the whole situation that is happening in the Lugansk region and that people are starving in the Pervomaisk city.
Security Service of Ukraine will cooperate with NATO and European Union security institutions. Special Information Secretariat was created for this. It will be headed by Yevhen Marchuk. The main goals of cooperation are information of security structures and renewal of civil control on their activity. Young specialists are invited to work. They will be chosen at the open contest by applications.
It is like an area of security cooperation. That's why doesn't even security service. The main thing for us is to renew such security cooperation, especially in questions which were underlined: reformation of security sector and civil control on activity of all law enforcement and security institutions. NATO is a system of collective security which had united 28 countries to prevent the war, to give them calm and safety. Ukrainian situation has a military aspect. It is clear that 28 countries and 28 parliaments, 28 heads of the states are not interested in taking military problem for its resolution. That is why Ukrainians should work hard on this question.
Project of resolution which will allow Ukrainians to have weapons was registered in Ukrainian Parliament Verkhovna Rada. Document foresees the right to buy any gun, rifle gun, smoothbore gun, except of machine gun. In fact, it is all spectrum of weapons from gun to submachine carbine. Experts support such initiative, but they say that some adaptations are needed.
I would recommend to consider the mechanism of getting the permission in the resolution. Special centers should be created where psychologists, experts, drug counselors, lawyers will check a person, his weapon, and explain the circumstances when to use this weapon. They should explain where is the limit of self-defense and violence. It should be written in a resolution, and people should understand it clearly.
Netherlands refused to pass the investigation of Malaysian Boeing air crash to United Nations Organization. Coordinator of fight with terrorism and security questions of Netherlands, Dick Schoof, said about this. According to his words, the circumstances of air crash are investigated by experts from 11 countries, including Malaysia, Ukraine and Russia. Several dozens relatives of died passengers proposed to pass the investigation to United Nations Organization. On the 9th of December, first track with Boeing 777 wreckages had come to Netherlands from Ukraine. Airplane of Malaysian Airlines was shot on 17th of July in the sky over the Donetsk region. It made a flight from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. There were 298 passengers on the board. All of them died.
An early Dutch report said
Brussels had found 3 alternatives to South Stream. On the eve, variants of change Russian gas pipeline were discussed by European Commission. The first variant is to get gas through the South Gas Corridor. This project will unite several gas pipelines, bypass Russia. Gas will be supplied from Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan, and pipeline will go through the territory of Turkey. In this way, Europe will have a gas till 2019. The second opportunity, building of terminals for liquefied gas. The third way is to develop shelf of Black and Mediterranean Sea. Center of Simferopol is encircling of law enforcement officers and special units. In this way, self-proclaimed authority of the peninsula has prepared for International Day for Human Rights. All events which were announced by representatives of Crimean Tatar community were prohibited. Activists claim that it contradicts Russian constitution. For this, they were poured over the green disinfectant. To project their rights, including right for free meetings, activists are planning to apply to Human Rights Ombudsman in Federation, to Prosecutor's Office and Court.
We are not allowed to conduct a scientific and practical conference. We are not allowed to conduct a drawing competition on the asphalt and even interfere hold press conference. Here in the society we live in, and unfortunately it is done by the hands of our countrymen.
And Crimean Tatar refused to wear Russian costume on beauty contest in Moscow. The press 15 Minutes wrote about this. Emine Khairulina from Simferopol appeared on festival Tatar Kizi 2014 and refused to wear Russian clothes. Girl underlined that her national costume is Crimean Tatar. In this contest, Emine had won in nomination Zirek Kiz, what means wise and smart girl. And exotic bird ostrich was evacuated from the ATO zone by volunteers from Poltava. Soldiers of one of the volunteer battalions found the giant who stayed without owner and was hiding from shootings and explosions in August. Since then, the ostrich is with soldiers. His guardian was Valery Bonyakivsky from Poltava. 2 months ago, soldiers died on the Donetsk airport. Posthumously, he was awarded with title for courage. His friend looked for the bird, and now they sent it to his motherland.
On the front line, this exotic bird was a symbol of the military unit. In the memory of a dead friend, soldiers saved Fedu from attacks, fed him, made for him normal conditions, and at the earliest opportunity gave him to volunteers. So they took the bird to Poltava. Guys called save him, so took him safe and sound and passed it to the good conditions. It was our direct obligation. We drove and listened and talked with him. We had heard how he responded, how he walked like a cluttered. As a result, we passed him as safe and sound. The bird have survived the road, and said volunteers. The volunteers were waiting for him. Fed a mother so early on the photo with son. When it came up, the ostrich, I felt a feel of happiness. It was like my son appeared. And now I won't call him Kabul, because my son named him so. Fighting birds settled in a spacious aviary of regional station of young naturalists. We have 2 birds. We hope they will be friends and create family. We have all for it: hay and food, and of course the people who will keep the bird and take care for him properly. Maria Bonyakivska, who gifted the bird to children, promised to went and saw the bird with the whole family. The 35-year-old Valeria have 3 daughters and a grandson. We will go to you. Your owner is not here. We will go to you. You are good. Володимир Непоїпиво, Константин Худолій, First Ukraine.
It was the United Country newscast by the First Ukraine. You can find more details at our website, firstu8.com. Victoria Zabiyan was working for you in the studio. We wish you only good news. Take care and goodbye.